Just got my Starbucks. Chilling with my little son. My son over here. My niño. He's leading the way. Going back home. I'm sipping, cruising. It's funny how your bike will do this. I'm glad it did it on the final stretch. So basically the wheel just kind of pushed a little bit to the left and it rides on that little bar right there. It sounds like I put a baseball card or something inside of it. On the way over here, I hopped on a curb and you know what? It's not even the curb itself. It's the bearings on the inside of this bike. That rod is bent over and it pushes that right over. So I definitely gonna pop this wheel out and check the bearings inside of it. But yeah, that rod's supposed to keep the wheel straight forward, bend over, so it's hitting in there. So easy fix for this one. If you're not mechanically inclined or anything, just buy a brand new wheel and swap it over. If you are, take it apart and see what your bearings are doing inside of it. And hopefully I can fix this fast because I'm gonna use this bike again tomorrow. And when you wiggle on it back and forth, there is play, a lot of play on there. And it's annoying because I've been riding this for a minute and maybe that's why this brake even popped out of there, or I've been pressing on the brakes and it's been riding on that and just pushing it this way, causing this to pop out of place. So I definitely need to get one of these and definitely see what's up with my bearings. Okay, I'm not sure exactly why that's at an angle, but I'm gonna definitely take it apart. So in order for me to do a full disassembly when it comes down to this wheel, I have to take the free wheel, which is the thing with all the spikes on there. This happens to be a 14 teeth by 28 teeth. I need to get a specialty tool to remove that. And also you can see that the actual 15 millimeter nut that's holding this in place is extremely tight. It shouldn't be that tight to remove. So that is my problem right there. Goes straight and goes at an angle. So when this rotates, it doesn't rotate straight. Bends that way, comes back around, back and forth, just like that. Once I get this entire assembly replaced, then I can use this back wheel. All right, so I was trying to figure out exactly what kind of, there's two different types. You have a cassette and then you have a freewheel. This is a freewheel. When it spins, the actual innards here, they don't spin. There's 12 innards here. I ordered the special tool that I'm gonna need so I can take out this freewheel and check it out. It's a little loose here, but that's normal. When it goes in to the right and gets stuck, it's geared, and basically you're gonna count your actual rings. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is a 6-speed freewheel. If you're gonna go by the teeth, you start on one section here. Let me put that right in front of that circle right there. And I'm gonna count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 is the one that was right there. So I got 14T. And if I start here, this is a line to that circle there. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. And that one's right there. So it's a 14T. by 28 6-speed, and it's made by Falcon. So if you look up the actual brand, you're gonna look for a Falcon, and this is gonna be a freewheel, not a cassette. Falcon freewheel 14T by 28T, and that should round you up a bunch of tools that are all capable of removing the splines from the inside. And also, if you count the splines on the inside there's 12 splines. It's kind of dark, but it is splined on the inside. It should allow you to find the right tool to remove that. Most everybody will sell you a wheel, but I'm not trying to buy a wheel. I'm just trying to buy the parts that I need, because then I'm going to have another wheel. After getting the actual tool that I need in order for me to remove the freewheel, I'm going to replace the axle. This is a Shimano axle. It comes with the nut, the bearings, the locking nut, and the spacer. As far as the specialty tool, I'll leave a link below so you guys can actually see the specialty tool that you'll need for this. It fits right in the middle of your freewheel. That's how you'll be able to take that out. Now, as far as the freewheel itself, this one matches up to a 21 millimeter. I have a 21 millimeter on a 1/2-inch drive, but any 21 millimeter is going to work for that. You'll be needing some grease to lube up the bearings, and you'll be able to grease this all up, put this all together, take this all apart. On top of that, you're going to need a 17 millimeter. So 2 of them was pretty helpful. I have a small 17 and an extra long 17 millimeter. If you only have one, then adjustable wrench, 15 millimeter, 10 millimeter for the brakes to release them. A specialty tool, along with the actual tool that you need to release and remove the actual freewheel. These 2 specialty tools were really useful. Some WD-40 and some grease. You'll be able to service your tire, which is this guy. For this guy, the main thing that you need is a rag. Basically, you just clean them all off as clean as possible as you can. Clean, clean, clean. Here's my wheel. I'm definitely gonna clean this guy out as much as possible. Clean this and this plastic piece, and then we'll start putting the grease in there. So the final step is just basically cleaning the bearings. Make sure that everything's clean and that you put plenty of grease when it comes down to putting the bearings and all the components back in place. After everything's greased up, you can always put additional grease, re-grease the actual bearings. Make sure that you put enough grease in there so the old grease does come out of the bearings. Once you put the bearings in there, you can put additional grease when it comes down to the back portion of the bearings, and then put the actual dust cover on. Once the dust cover on is in there, that grease will stay in there. Do the same thing for the other side. Do clean it up as much as possible. When you're done cleaning it up, obviously you're going to put the axle. The axle, this is the new axle. It's not the damaged axle. So I am going to clean the bearings on the other side as well. Once I'm done cleaning the bearings, I'll repack them with grease. I'll put grease in front of the actual cup, which is the section right there that the bearings are going to fall in. Once I grease that area and make sure I clean it up nice and neat, I will push the bearings in there. I'll put additional grease, pack some grease into the bearings. Again, repeating the process of packing them in there with nice, new, clean grease. And then I'll go through the process of pushing them in. Once I push them in, I'll make sure I clean up the area. Make sure pack in the rest of the grease and put in the actual dust cover. Once the dust cover is on there, I can go put it a little bit more and also lock everything in place. The final thing is to adjust the actual bearings. So once the wheel and everything is put together, I use the 15 millimeter on one side and I use the 15 or the 17 millimeter on the other side. There is no free wheel in the way, so I do tighten up the bearings as much as possible, but I do grab the axle and do rotate it. I want a clear, nice spinning wheel. When the wheel is actually just spinning and it has no resistance, or it has just enough resistance but not too much against the actual bearings, I will tighten everything together and lock it in place. So I did clean this off, WD-40, one of these little brushes. And all you do is just run it back and forth to get it nice and clean. It's turning, socket in place. Put my specialty tool clockwise. Now lock this guy in, just like so. So just like that, I went through the troubleshooting procedure of identifying what was the actual problem with my wheel, going through and separating all the components, finding out the new part and installing the new part, putting everything back together and holding the axle, then spinning the wheel and having a nice, smooth, consistent spin. So everything's good, fixed, and ready to go.